met the same day by a rally for compassion and not cruelty in immigration. President Donald Trump visits San Antonio. And an Alamo City man is confined for mandatory treatment of tuberculosis. This is your Express Briefing podcast for Thursday, April 11th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. Huddling with supporters, raising money, and signing 2 executive orders aimed at speeding pipeline construction and boosting the oil and gas industry. Wednesday, President Donald Trump began his Texas swing in San Antonio, where he was greeted at the San Antonio International Airport by supporters as he walked from Air Force One to a waiting limousine. Trump arrived in San Antonio for a closed-door fundraiser at the exclusive dinner club, the Argyle, where he was later greeted by another group of excited supporters. At the luncheon, Trump was accompanied by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and State Senator Donna Campbell of New Braunfels, and addressed the Argyle crowd with points on human trafficking and the need to improve border security, repeating claims he'd made earlier in Washington that migrants pouring across the border with Mexico are dying in great numbers, while gang members arriving from Central America are marauding and threatening American ranchers. After leaving San Antonio just after 2 p.m., Trump continued his Texas swing by traveling to Houston's Ellington Joint Reserve Base, where he was greeted by Governor Greg Abbott. While no protesters were evident during President Trump's San Antonio arrival or trip to the Argyle Dinner Club, Trump's presence in San Antonio led former Mayor Julian Castro, who's seeking the Democratic presidential nomination, to hold a rally downtown protesting the president's immigration policies. Wednesday evening, Castro told a crowd of several hundred people gathered downtown at Hemisphere Park that President Donald Trump's immigration policies, quote, have been an absolute failure for our country. Standing in front of a large American flag at a podium inscribed with People First, the name of his recently released immigration proposal, Castro said the country needs more humane responses to the surge of migrants crossing the border. The San Antonio native touted his immigration plan, which would end criminal penalties for border crossings, increase the number of refugees accepted into the U.S., and invest in the so-called Northern Triangle countries of Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. The political clash of Wednesday's high-profile visits to San Antonio comes as the number of migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border has surged to the highest levels in a decade, overwhelming Customs and Border Patrol and the nonprofit organizations that care for the people once they're released. And amid heightened public fear about the spread of infectious diseases, a San Antonio man is being forced to spend up to a year in a state hospital that treats only people with tuberculosis. This week, the Metropolitan Health District took the man to court after he failed to complete the required treatment for the deadly disease. During a trial Monday, jurors found he should be confined to the Texas Center for Infectious Disease, a hospital on the southeast side, where he will take antibiotics daily. Court documents about the case are sealed to protect the man's privacy, and city officials will not disclose his name, the circumstances leading to his confinement, or even the disease itself. Tuberculosis is a bacterial infection that primarily impacts the lungs and can spread through the air by sneezing and coughing. Treating active tuberculosis can require at least 6 to 9 months of daily antibiotics. And that's your daily San Antonio Express briefing for Thursday, April 11th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts.